Hey guys, welcome back to Evony with Genghis on server 68. So today we're going to talk about large builds and the obstacle of food. So keeping that food protected and being able to do these large builds. It's a major part of the game. It's a major skill you need because lots of the builds eventually, like if you just look at right here, my embassy, that is 400 million food. And if I go into my warehouse right here, I can only hold 165 million food. So how do I do that, right? And that's a very small example. Most of my buildings are kind of done now at 35, so I can't find anything that's really, okay, so research factory needs 770 million food. So what do you do to make up for that gap between 165 and 770? This is something you really need to learn as you're developing in the game. And the first thing you can do that we can go over, the most obvious thing, is have food in boxes that you get from attacking bosses, right? So if we look here, these are B13s, and inside we can see they have 500,000 food. So keep them inside here. Do not open them. Save food. When I make troops, anything I do when I was smaller in the game developing, I would not open food boxes no matter what. Because I understood very early that food was going to be an issue. So I would not open those until I really had to. If I had a build that I was 20 million short on food, I would just wait a day and I would gather the food. I would not open those boxes because I knew there was going to be a time when I would need them, and it really paid off. So now, other things that you can do to help that out are in the talent at Monarch level 30, there is Troop Upkeep. This protects the food from being consumed by troops. This is very important to do. I still have mine there. I'm not really sure why. I should probably start to change it to Fatal Strike or Hospital, but probably Fatal Strike. I just haven't done it because I do still have a few things that I like to keep the food for, and but eventually I'll change it. But right here, Troop Upkeep, this is one of the most important things you can do. Now, in research, there is an advanced silo as well. Can we find it here? It is, here it is. This will also protect the resources from being consumed. So 200%. So this is really big. This is really important as well. Now, there's also a general. So my main city defense general, lots of people are scared to have her on the wall because they drop bubble and they will get attacked. But Shajar, she has a very, very good talent. And it's right here. She increases your production speed, but she also protects your food 200%. So that's how I'm able to get these really large numbers of protecting food. So those are the obvious things you can do. Now there's basically 3 other things you can do. So one of them is pretty obvious. You can have good teammates. And if you look right here at the bottom, I can receive up to 2 billion resources a day from teammates. So you can look at yours, see what your number is, and you can plan this as an alliance. And you could say, hey guys, in 5 days, I have a really big build coming. Can you guys send me some food then? And then when it's your turn for a big build, I'll send you food on your day. So that can be a way. We tried to organize that as an alliance a few months ago when we were a smaller alliance on our old server. But actually the problem was a lot of us had really big builds, but not a high enough embassy. So we couldn't actually send enough food. So that was an issue. But people can send you food boxes in inventory as well, right? They can click on a city and you can click on food and send 500k food if you so desire. So you can do that. Now, there's two other tricks that you can basically do. So, one that I used to do that was really good, I would send all my farmers out. Okay, I would send them all out to farms. Every single person would go to a farm, and I'd send them for like 5 hours to T14s, and then I'd recall them all right at the time I'm going to build, and I would have my food at the maximum that I can have. So for me, I would have my food at 164 million because I can hold 165 million. So I would have it right at the max, and then all my farmers would come back at the same time, and they'd all bring about 10 million each, and then 10 times 5 or 10 times 6, that's another 50 or 60 million in food that I would have, where I'd go over my cap. And now there's actually one other thing you can do, and it is in here. Well, sorry, there's two other things. So you could do your food production, right? And you can use this 8-hour 200%er, and that'll really increase your food production. And what you really want to do is do not tap on the warehouse and collect the food. Because if you look in here, if you look at my farm tile right here, this timer, that's how many hours of food the tile can hold. So it can hold 12 hours. So don't collect your food items for 12 hours, and you can let that build up as well. The way to really take advantage of it is to put the double boost on. And anyone who doesn't know about this double boost, I did a video on it before, but basically what you have here is you have a speed up that will double your farm for 24 hours. You could compose it, and then you get 200% increase, but only for 8 hours. So these are valuable things as well that you can do. And then obviously another thing that you can do is use your warehouse, right? So I already stored today, but I could store 30 million a day. So as you can see here, I could store up to 300 million over 10 days. So I could plan my builds around that as well. And then other things you can do is you could go to the black market and you can buy food on here, or you can go into here, the battle shop, which I do not recommend, but you can buy food in here, right? You can see all the resources, right? I could buy 5 million, and let's see if food comes up. And it does not, but I could buy 50 million with 1,800 dragon crystals. I do not recommend doing that, but you can do it. And basically, those are all the ways that you can get food and store food for those big builds. So if you have any other ideas out there of your own, please share them in the comments, help each other out. But that's all the ways that I know of, and that's it really. So any other ideas, let me know, and maybe I'll implement them into my game or share them with others. So this is Genghis, server 68. Like, subscribe, leave a comment.